Yo, 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 welcome to the show. Welcome to the Social Sunshine Podcast, episode 195. I am your hostess, your girl, Britney Crosson. Thanks for coming back for another episode. Today's episode, we're going to dig deep down into our hearts and our souls because I want to talk to you about something really, really important. So, first of all, my mother-in-law passed away a few weeks ago, and it's the first parent loss between Ryan and I. So it's new and it's sad and it's weird and it's all the things that it is, right? And as I have been navigating through this process and being that support for Ryan and his family and doing all the things you do in these situations, I've really kind of connected it to some beautiful things that have to do with what we talk about here on the show and what I talk about in my social media content and all the things. And it's really been a cool connection and realization through this process. And something that happened recently is very interesting because my friend Lindsay Hanlon has a show called Wing It, Rise Up, and her podcast is actually one of our Fun Love Media shows that we produce. And she, like very soon after my mother-in-law passed away, had this episode about loss and having loss perspective and about how, although loss is sad and difficult, it can help us have perspective on life, and it can help, essentially propel us forward to our purpose and our passions and our mission in life and business and all the things, right? Because it really gives us that perspective of like, oh my gosh, I don't have all the time in the world. And I thought that the timing of Lindsay's episode, it was totally coincidental. And I thought that was wild. If you haven't listened to it, go find Wing It, Rise Up by Lindsay Hanlon and listen to that episode. But I thought it was so timely and so beautiful. And I had been thinking about something similar many times. She and I are very aligned and on the same page. And I've been thinking about something similar from my mother-in-law's passing, where I was connecting this experience with my message that you've probably seen me post about if you follow me on social, which is post the effing video. Post the effing video. That's been so fun. First of all, I've got to say, I started saying post the effing video on social media. Like, let's see. Okay. So I'm recording this in July of 2023. So like a year and a half ago or so. And it started out as just like this fun thing to say. And it's very on brand for me because, I love an F word. And it represented what I do, right? Like, I'm a social media creator. I own a social media agency. I run a community that helps small business owners with their social media. And this show is all about social media. So I like to encourage people to share on social media, and video is a big thing in social media. So post the effing video, right? Post the fucking video. It makes sense. And it was kind of literal at first, right? Like, I'm actually encouraging you to post videos because videos do well on social media, right? But over time, I started to realize the depth of what that phrase actually means to me when I really dug deeper. And I've really connected more to it recently with this loss for our family. And post the effing video, it's actually not about videos. It is, but it's not. And what I mean by that is it's really a way to encourage you to do it. Do the thing, take the leap, try it out, start the business, write the book, post the video, go for it. And that message is, well, it's so important all the time. But when you experience loss, it really, really rings even more true. And I am so thankful for the perspective I have as an individual that does post the effing video, and that now, hey, I've had plenty of my moments of hesitation and nobody's perfect, but for the most part, I've done a lot of like mindset work and things like that to live this way where I am, going for it and taking leaps. And from this angle, I gotta say, the thing that's the hardest is whenever I see other individuals not posting the effing video, not going for it, whatever they want to be doing, when I can see their potential and capabilities and talents and passion and everything that they have inside of them, yet for some reason these voices, these negative thoughts, the self-doubt, it fucks with all of us. It makes us think that we're not able to do it, or we shouldn't do it, or what is Aunt Sally going to say? And it really pisses me off when I think about that and all of the potential in the world that I see in so many of you that I know and that I interact with, and that I see your comments and your messages, and we've been hanging out on social media for a long time. And when I see you holding back, it just not only frustrates me, but it makes me feel sad. And trust me, I've had plenty of times of holding back. I think that we're like onions. we peel back and back and back and back, layer by layer, right? It's natural. I don't think that anyone dives in and says, "Oh, there we go. I've done all my personal development and I'm all set and I am my best version of me. It's done. Check." Like, it's never done. So give yourself some grace and know that it's a process. All right. I mean, I have a process too. I'm pretty good at doing this, but man, I still have things where I'm like, hang on, girl, you still holding back on that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? And I want you to do a little personal challenge with yourself and work through some things in your mind. Okay. Think about something that you've really been wanting to do for a good solid amount of time. Okay. Not like an idea from yesterday. Let's go with something that that's been in your head and your heart for a little while, and you haven't done it yet. Pick a few things and be honest with yourself, which is not always easy to do, right? But be honest with yourself and work backwards and go, wait a minute, let's rewind here. Why have I not done this yet? Now, sometimes we can find legitimate scheduling, logistics issues with a project. Cool. If you find legitimate issues with it, like it's something that takes a set bulk amount of time, and maybe you're in a season of, you have a newborn baby and it's just not the time because you're like exhausted, wiped out 24/7, right? You see what I'm saying? Work through it, right? If you got something where it's a legitimate reason why you haven't done it, that's okay. That's okay. You just have it ready and waiting for whenever you can. But usually that's not the case. Usually we haven't done something because we are scared for some reason. We have a fear of judgment from others, because so much of what we do these days, others find out about, especially here in our world, me and you, like we share and shit on social media, like people gonna know, okay? Which is great, but it can feel scary. Is that why you haven't done the thing yet? Do you doubt yourself and your abilities? Are you afraid that you're going to fail and how that's going to make you feel about yourself? Right? Are you not even sure how to start? Are you being maybe a little too proud to ask for help or ask questions and learn how to do whatever the thing is? Right? I want you to go through this exercise with yourself. And this is also a good exercise in learning to trust yourself, which is really, really important. Like if we don't trust ourselves, then we're, what the fuck, right? We need to trust ourselves. Go through this exercise. Think of 2 or 3 things that you have yet to do, and then work backwards as to why you think you haven't done them. Now, I've noticed one for myself, and it's finishing the book that I started writing 2 fucking years ago. And what I worked through, this is a good example for you, is I had a couple of different reasons why it didn't happen. So I had to do that thing where you give yourself grace and not be so hard on myself and go, wait a minute, Brittany, hang on. You started this 2 years ago, right in the first like 6, 7, 8 months of taking over as like the quote unquote breadwinner for my family and building this company, Fun Love Media. And I thought I was going to just write a book and like, no problem in the middle of all of it. Like, come on. Like I'm a believer in like doing a whole bunch of cool shit and being super ambitious, but like sometimes we need to like focus hardcore on one thing. So in this case, like I was literally responsible for feeding my children. Like I need to focus on that and give that everything I can fucking give it. Right. There's no room to give the book energy. It's this. And so I've worked through those feelings and I've realized that was the case. The timing really genuinely wasn't right. And what's cool that I've noticed, and maybe you'll notice this too, when you work through all your stuff, I've noticed that in those 2 years since I started writing that book, so much has happened that can be included in the book that if I had finished it then, it wouldn't be there, right? So it makes sense. So, you've got to be open-minded enough to know that sometimes you haven't posted the effing video. Sometimes you haven't gone for your things, your desires, for legitimate reasons that really end up making sense, right? Give yourself grace. But sometimes it's genuinely just fear holding us back. And I want you to figure that out because I want so badly for you to do the things you want to do. I want you to share about it on social media. I know that you are mission driven. That's the kind of people that I hang out with. I am too. We're world changers, you and me. And it's so beautiful. But life can cause things to get foggy and cloudy. They say you can't hit fuzzy targets, right? Gain some clarity for yourself. Go back and revisit the things that you want to do that you haven't done yet. Work through that in your mind and in your heart. And if you see that you can move forward in that path, I urge you to do so. This loss has been, it's just really been eye-opening. And if you've had loss in your life and you understand. And I recognize that through the sadness and the almost shock, right, that this kind of change brings to our lives, through that, there's just this beautiful, beautiful opportunity for me to use it to help propel forward and do all the things that I am meant to do here on this earth. And I hope that you can look at these kinds of big life experiences the same way. And I hope that you'll do this. And if you do, message me. Tell me about it. I want to know, what were the things that you've been wanting to do that you haven't done yet? And what did you figure out? Wow, what's stopping you? Right? Once you get good at coaching yourself through things like this, you feel like you can conquer the fucking world. I do it all the time and it feels really, really good. So take yourself to therapy, work through it. All right. Remember what's important to you, not to everybody around you, but what's important to you, what your goals are and what your dreams are. And let's make that shit happen. Let's post the effing video. Thank you so much for listening.